Alright, let's see what I got. So, bunch of credit card offers and in this in the mail. Let's see what I got. Here we go. Finally came. I think I should buy one more. I don't know what you guys think, because I'm sure I'm going to use this a lot. So, Hondabond. It's very important. Red gaskets. Let's go inside. I got some things to do on the engine. Let's sit inside, guys. It was real nice today. I wish I could do some things in the car. Real nice today. Got my piston wall clearance. Sure, a lot of you guys already know how to do this anyways. So the tools I'll be using, micrometer, 3 to 4 inch, vernier caliper, and a telescoping gauge, and a piston to reference when I'm doing my difference from subtraction. So I know this is probably not the machinist route, the professional route. Like if you're gonna take your block to machinist, and you're gonna have a dial board gauge, which is so much consistent. Because this, man, I don't know, I'm not getting the good feel for this. If I had a dial board gauge, which is very expensive, and I'm actually saving for one, so when I get to the more serious builds, especially when I want to go boosted motors, or making crazy power, dial board gauge is probably more consistent. You know, you can tell by how much thousandths you're out, or 10,000ths, or how accurate your dial board gauge is. So what you do is you set your micrometer to the whatever size you need. You put your dial board gauge in with your correct end. You put your dial board gauge in and you zero out the gauge. And when you zero out the gauge, you test it on whatever you're using. So if I'm doing my bore, I put in my bore, and whether it moves left or right, it tells me how many thousandths I'm out, or 10,000ths, whatever, as I said, the accuracy is. And that's so much better, guys. It's more consistent too. So I mean, if you're taking your motor to your machinist and they don't have a dial board gauge, you probably may want to check that out. But hey, if they have a good feel for using these, I just think it's so much that this tool could tell you. So the reason why I'm checking my piston wall clearance is so a lot of you guys already know I'm using the K20A2 pistons. Now these already came out of an engine that's already been worn out. Not said it's blown, but I think it had like when I read the facts, it had like 110,000 miles. So I mean, these things are going to wear out. So it's not a brand new piston. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I was reusing all my original parts, so my pistons and my rods I'm reusing, but if I was using my original pistons that came in the motor, then I won't have to be doing all this shit. You know, just number it and just set it aside and put it back where I got it from. But in this case, we're using, as I said, other pistons that came out of another motor. Something that I didn't know was a big deal, and I was researching on Honda Tech forums. So my block is an A stamp. The K20s and the 24s, they came in A and B stamps. Don't know why, so that's just how it is. I'm an A block. My stamp is an A block. The A block and the A pistons are a bigger bore. For some reason, not by much, but they're a bigger bore. They're different in size. So if you're going to buy some pistons, you may want to check that out. Even when I bought my pistons, the guy asked me in the comment section, are you an A block or a B block? And I knew I was an A block, so I made sure, and that was for the replacement. For the first ones I bought, because remember I did I bored one of my pistons out. For the first set I bought, 4 set I bought, I didn't ask if they were A or B. So I made sure I measured them, and luckily they came out to be A pistons. So I don't know if that's a big deal, especially when you take your motor to the machinist. You know, they specify what piston to what bore. So all this is something you want to take in consideration. The reason why you check your piston wall clearance, you don't want your piston to be too loose or too tight. The tighter it is going to seize up in the bore when it gets to operating temperature, and you're just going to blow your motor. It's going to scorch the walls. If it's too loose, you're going to have a little bit of piston slap according to how loose it is. A lot of guys, which I read, they like to go on the loose side. So if it's too loose, you're going to have a little bit of cold start, piston slap, and you may not get proper combustion sealing. So like I said, these are things you may want to look out for if you're doing your build your own self. So I'm going to check my bore now. I think I may have gone to honing happy when I did my honing, but hey guys, this is all a learning experience. I'm already in it. I don't want to spend too much money in this block. I'm already preparing for my next build, to be honest with you, but you don't want to eat too much steak at the same time. let me finish this, do my first build. If it blows, it blows. At least I know I tried. But let me just focus on this first, get this in the car, see if it runs. Yada yada, if it runs fine, so be it. But I'm already preparing for my another build. So well, let's just finish things in moderation. So gonna do this. I'm gonna check my I'm just gonna show you guys one bore, not to bore you guys out. So I'm just gonna choose one bore, measure it out with my caliper, and let's start from here. Alright guys, I'm already like 5 minutes over on the first clip checking the DSLR. My apologies, it's so hard to explain these things, and for me I just talk too much. But anyways, so I'm gonna just choose one bore. I'm just choosing number 2. So I'm gonna use this like I said, my telescoping gauge tool. It's like it's snap loaded, so it pops out when you take the tension off. So I'm just gonna put in my bore, and that's, like I said, I hate about it because I just feel like it's not that accurate, and I just don't have that touch. So if you really want to go really precise, you know, I would really advise investing in a dial bore gauge. So I'm down a bit. I decided to do it this way since I guess piston wear goes, you know, in a vertical motion. Tighten my tool, make sure I still have a good feel. Just slightly lift it out, and then I'll get my cardboard set up, and we'll just do some measurements from here. Alright, now so I'm going to use my mic here, my micrometer, butt up against the two ends of the telescoping gauge. I prefer doing this hanging off so I can make it but just for the video purposes, I'm just going to try and do it on the edge here because it's not fully buttoned up, but you get the point. So I'm going to tighten it until it goes. It's like a click. Taking my tool out, and then I'm going to get me a pen and paper and just write down what I got off my micrometer. So now I'm just going to take the measurement off my caliper here. Now, I hate maths like some of you guys out there. I'm not a maths heavy person. Sad to say, I want to do engineering. But anyways, so I'm just going to just read the measurement off the micrometer. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know how to read these, use micrometers and vernier calipers. I remember a little bit from, you know, learning with my grandfather, but you know, you can learn these things off the internet. So I doubt I need to do a video how to read a vernier or a micrometer. So it's a 3 to 4 inch micrometer. So this, unfortunately, my own only does to the thousandths. A lot of automotive guys, they use the one that goes to the 10 thousandths, which are 4 0 decimal places. So it's 3 to 4, so 3 thousandths, so 3 0 decimal places. I'm going to read off my borrow scale here. So 3, 25, 50, 75 thousandths, so 375. I'm going to take the reading off my thimble scale here. It looks like an 18 thousandths, so 018. Like I said, if I had extra gradients up here just for more accuracy, it'd be to 10 thousandths. But you know, micrometers are expensive, guys. It makes sense why these machinists charge so much. So I don't know if my numbers are showing here. So what's 8 and 5, guys? Help me out here. So 8 and 5, 13, right? So 3, 1. My wife hates when I do this because this is so slow. But just bear with me. 7, 8, 9, 3. I always tell her everyone can't be smart like her. You know, she's graduated and all that. You know, she takes her schoolwork very seriously. I like whatever. Alright, so we got 3.393. Now, this is not too bad because on the service limit, it's kind of a bit close. So I think I went too crazy with the honing. But like I said, this is all learning experience. And number 2, I should have took initial values when I dismantled the whole engine to see how far or how crazy I went with honing. So I don't know if it's just me or it probably was already a bit crazy. But you know, it's not too bad. But I don't want to go spend crazy money and, you know, getting it honed. Next time I'll probably do it the right way. So I'm going to use my vernier caliper. It's digital, and see if this number is, you know, is close to what I read off of here. So let me go. So I'm just going to use my caliper here, a vernier caliper. So like we got before from our micrometer, 3.393. So we're going to see if we can try to get that same number. So we're going to get back at the telescoping gauge, make sure it's the same setting as our dial from our bore, and we're just going to, so 3.394, it probably won't be as consistent. That's why, you know, I read a lot of guys don't really use 3.393. A lot of guys don't really use vernier calipers to like check journal size and bearing sizes, because I don't think it has enough surface like that, like a rounded edge, you know. This is just a bit flat, so I think it doesn't really grab to the surface correct reading. But you know, to each his own. So 3.393 and 5, so 394. So it's, you know, it's pretty close to what we got. So now I'm gonna take this measurement and I'll show you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it. So 393. So I'm gonna take this measurement, subtract it from my piston measurement, and see what we get. Alright guys, so I'm not gonna bother show measuring this out, but you just take it bottom down, like 11 millimeters. In the service manual from bottom, I have a mark here, and you just scribe a mark, and then you just put your mic, and you take your measurements, and yada yada. For all the pistons, I've got a consistent 3.385. So our bore size for number 2 that we checked was 3.393. So just by simple math, I guess, 3.393 minus 3.385 gives us piston wall clearance of 8 thousandths. Like I said, if I had a more accurate 10 thousandths, it'd be better, but 8 thousandths. But let's say this was accurate or whatever. Obviously this is probably around the piston wall clearance that I think is in the service manual. I think it's around 9/10 thousandths to 16/10 thousandths. I read on the internet, man, guys have some weird numbers, you know. So 4/10 thousandths, I've seen as low as 2, man. So I'm like, this seems like a, you know, a nitpicky thing. Everything always works for everyone, you know, differently. I'm sure a lot of guys already follow the service manual, especially if your bore is out of spec. But I'm sure a lot of guys who do simple builds, like say I'm boosting a D16, buy some Viterras off of eBay, you know, not really going to check the measurement, just slap them in any bore, and I'm sure the guys are still running their engines to this day. So maybe all this is not necessary, to each his own, but it's good to check these things, you know, like when you're taking your motor to a machinist. I'm sure this is all what you're paying for, so to really say that is unnecessary, it's just to be, I don't know, naive, I guess. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's really good to know these things. So I'm gonna do the measurement for the rest of the bores and try to choose the best tolerance I can get, because like I said, I don't think I effed the motor up with all the honing I did, but I don't know if I went too crazy. So I'm just gonna choose out what bore I'm going to put each piston in and just go from there. So I really thank you guys for watching this video. I'm happy that I got my Hondabond in the mail, so I can start, like, you know, doing my gasket shit when I'm starting to reassemble. And I think I may need to buy another one. I don't know if that one's enough. If you guys know, you guys can comment in the bottom and tell me if that's enough, if I need to get another one. If so, I'll buy another one, but for now I got that one. So thank you guys for watching. Leave your likes, whatever dislikes, and thanks for watching.